Welcome to another video, you guys. In my last video, I talked about how fall 2021 admissions are going to be extremely hard. It's not going to be an easy deal no matter what anyone tells you about, okay? But one thing that I noticed was that, if some of you people are coming over here without watching that video, maybe you will not get why we're trying to do this. What is the purpose of building your profile? Okay, so if that is the case, you can quickly click on that I button above and you can see that video. I believe it is extremely important. It's one of the best videos I've ever done, and it will give you an insight, a perspective that you may not have considered before. Okay, fall 21 people, this is all for you. Of course, if someone is watching for the future, they want to improve their profile to get into better universities, this will again help you as well. Okay, so these are the two kinds of people that this video is for. Now, straight away, I'll get into it. Okay, what are the few things that matter? Okay, the first, basically we're going to be talking about 5 things. And the first thing on that list, which is important whatsoever your program is, whatsoever your university of you're targeting, whatever it is the GPA score. Now I realize not a lot of you will be in college right now, but in case you are, focus on improvising your GPA as much as you can. Focus on it, because let's face it, if you're aiming for one of the top universities overseas, no university will want to pick an applicant who cannot cope up with their program. Okay, so you gotta be able to show them that yes, I am enough for this program, I can do this. Okay, and the primary thing they look at for that is the GPA. In fact, they'll just use it as a screening out measure. So they'll filter you out if you're not above a certain GPA level. The next thing, number 2, test scores. Now, a lot of people think that test scores are very important and they spend 5-6 months just working on tests. In fact, depending on your program that you're going for, depending on the level, could be bachelor's, could be a graduate program like a master's or PhD program, you will have to take different exams. Like, for bachelor's, it'll be like SATs and ACTs. For master's students or PhD students, it's usually GRE, GMAT. Okay, there's other tests, of course, but I'm not going to be covering them over here. So the thing is that these are the tests that you can take, and then you have to take language tests like TOEFL or IELTS. What I've seen that a lot of people do is that they usually go on and they take multiple tests. They prepare for multiple tests. They put in a lot of energy. They'll take the SATs, ACTs both, or they'll take TOEFL, IELTS both. It's just not, you do not have that much time. Okay, let's face it. If you are doing that, that means you're wasting valuable time which you could have spent on your applications. Remember, as soon as someone in the admissions committee sees your score, no matter what test it is, let's say it's GRE for example, and they say, hey, his GRE score is above the 80 percentile. And it might not be the top score, but hey, they're saying, all right, this is good enough for us. What they'll do is they'll just put a check mark next to that point. That's it. And then they'll look at the rest of your profile. Okay, of course, it's just a threshold. All of these tests are thresholds, and if you do not clear the threshold, you're out, of course. So do not spend so much time taking multiple tests that you do not even need to take. They will not get you into the university of your choice. I just wanted to clear that out, because a lot of people seem to think that these tests are the end of their application. Like, if they see the score, their score, they're scoring the topmost score in these tests, 340 on the GRE, 120 on the TOEFL. No, you won't get an admit with that. Okay, of course, not with just that. You need some more things. Okay, so they matter, but not as much as your overall profile. Basically, this should not come at the cost of your profile. Okay, the third thing over here, projects. Okay, remember, now this is very, very simple. I know you probably already know it. It's not some groundbreaking truth that I just gave you over here, but see, projects are not as simple. If you just go ahead and make a project and you say, hey, I've done 5 projects on I don't know, machine learning, or I've managed 5 people, something like that, in a project, I've been the leader or anything. Hey, you gotta have more than just a project that you did. Okay, you gotta be able to build your portfolio. Okay, your project is not just a project, you have to put it in your portfolio, you have to showcase it. That's when it starts to matter, when other people start using it, or when other people find it useful, that hey, this person did this and I actually needed this, so I'm going to use this project. That's when people start finding it useful. And the way to do that is to market your projects. Okay, now no one tells you about this, but I'll tell you all the things that worked for me, and this should also work for you. Remember, YMGrad.com started as a project for me. Okay, now the first thing you can do is use articles. The best platforms over here, I can say LinkedIn is a very good platform. You can basically put out articles over there and people can share your articles. They can kind of, create a propagation effect. But another good platform that I'll tell you about is our platform, YMGrad. If you go on to the article section over here, and I'll tell you the advantages of doing this. Okay, if you just go on over here on the article section, you write an article, you can basically just do that from, on the top right. The reason I say that you should do that over here is because we have about 25,000 people already using the website, and your projects, whatever you do, will start showing up over here. In fact, I will personally help you market the projects. As soon as you write an article over here, just shoot me an email or shoot me a message on Instagram. Hey, I've written a project on ymgrad.com and I want you to kind of propagate through the audience that you have for me. And if we find that, hey, maybe you did a project on machine learning and there's a lot of people on our website for machine learning, we'll try to, make sure that people notice that project, the relevant people do that. So that's something that I can personally do for you. Then the other things that you can do to market these projects are to publish papers. That's a really good way to improvise your profile, because if you have papers, hey, you can have national papers, you can have international papers. A lot of that depends on your budget. A lot of that depends on the sort of project that you've worked on. Is it that good? Is the impact factor of the journal that you're publishing in good enough? Again, this is a video for a separate topic, so if you want me to cover that, how do you publish research papers, you should comment down below and I'll make a separate video if I get enough comments on it. Okay? Next thing, startups. You can build your project into a startup. YMGrad.com is an example of that. The next thing, patents. You can get patents for your projects. Again, the project can be in the field of, who knows, construction engineering. It could be anything, right? Mechanical engineering. Maybe you've built some physical product. You can be eligible for a patent, and that will definitely build your profile up. Okay, it's not as big as you think it is. You can easily get it if you want. There's other things like real users. Okay, your project should have real users. People should be using the project. They should be engaging with the project. If it's a website, they should be signing up on it. They should be using it. Something useful should be going on with that project. People should find that, hey, I want to use this thing again and again because this is an integral part of my work. If you can build that, the universities will never leave you behind. Trust me, I promise you. And the final things over here about building your portfolio are to be active on all the platforms which are really popular in your niche. For instance, let me just give you an example. If you are someone by the way, LinkedIn is for everyone. You should definitely do that no matter which place you're from. The other platforms would be building your profile up on maybe GitHub. If you're a computer science student, GitHub, Stack Overflow, these are the platforms that you should build your reputation on. If maybe you're a designing student, you're doing some sort of front-end design, I'm not sure, maybe Behance is a good platform for you. So identify those platforms that work in the niche that you are working in, and make sure that you build your reputation up in those platforms, because they will give you the traction. Trust me, this is very important, and you can actually show your reputation in your applications itself. Okay, the next thing over here, this was point 3, projects. Now we're going to move on to research groups. Point number 4. Hey, you want to connect with research groups and professors. Why is that important? Don't just go on and try to do research on your own. This is one thing that I learned. Okay, you can do that. I will never say that you 100% don't do it, but the one thing that you should realize is that if you're doing it with a professor or with a research group that is actually doing good work, and they're doing good work, the thing is, first off, you'll make connections. You can get LORs from those professors later on that you worked with. And the second thing is that because you worked on these research projects that these professors were working on, you will not pick up a bogus topic that has already been done, or basically you will have the guidance to pick up the complex topics that almost everyone at the cutting edge of your field is working on. So make sure that you connect with the right people and make your network and try to do projects in that way. Okay, this is really important if you're going for a research-based program, but if you're going for an academic program, an industry-based program, that would be number 5. And in that case, you should go for jobs or internships. You want to look for companies which are working in the field that you want to pursue your program in. Okay, always make sure that you're taking up a position that's very aligned to the program that you will be doing in the future. So, this will also help you with some experience. If you have some experience, you can easily get on-campus jobs once you actually get to the university that you have to study in, right? Then there's other things like you can actually get internships overseas or jobs overseas. That would be a very good idea. Connect with universities, connect with researchers, connect with companies. In fact, we are actually going to build that for you on YMGrad. Companies can actually list their internships or jobs on the website, and you can apply with a click. That's it, because you've already signed up, so we already have your profile. You can just apply with one click. Okay, and finally, there's other things that are important. For instance, if you're getting into the top 5 companies, maybe if you're going for a consulting program and you're getting into BCG or some similar company, or maybe you're going for a tech-based program and you're getting into Google, that already shows the universities that you can get through rigorous interview processes, because these companies already have rigorous processes to screen the applicants. And if you can get through there, the universities automatically trust you more, that all right, you are actually a good applicant already. Okay, so these are the 5 points that you should genuinely take care of. The other 3 things that I want to talk about, these are the most common doubts that you guys put forward, and I listen to them every single time I make similar videos. So the first thing, do online courses matter? I would say yes, they matter. Getting certifications, like, hey, depends on the program. If it's as good as a CCNA, you might know it if you're from the networking field. That's a huge thing, and hey, if you have that, that's a great thing to have on your profile. But generally, if you're just doing online courses on Coursera or something like that, they're not very rigorous. But the thing is, if you actually get those certifications, you want to use them in some projects. Until you build something with that information that you have, I don't think it's worth anything, to be very honest. Okay, and it's the same for most universities. I've noticed that, I know that, so I'm telling you about it. Okay, the other thing, volunteering, is that important? I would say it's okay, it's a good to have, but it's not an exact determiner of how good your profile is. It's a good to have thing. Okay, especially if maybe you can do some volunteering work in your field of work, in your niche. That will help you. Definitely go for it. Okay, and finally, I would say, by the way, volunteering is good, but only if you have time for it, then go for it. Okay, and the final doubt that I get usually is extracurriculars. Should we maybe try to get some achievements in our extracurriculars? Maybe it could be Olympiads, maybe it could be as good as starting a startup, maybe you want to just be a good football player. It could be anything, really. Okay, see, this is what I have realized over the years. Universities want people who are well-rounded. So at times when they want to have those tiebreakers and they want to see, hey, these 2 applicants are very similar, but hey, this applicant is really good at maybe music, and he's actually, I don't know, played in a few bands, he's actually done a few concerts. That might help. Okay, universities always want to have a very diverse sort of an educational playground that they have, and diverse population and people who can really interact and build stuff from really unimaginable sources. So yeah, definitely, if you have something like that, it will help. Extracurriculars are the way to go, in my opinion. So I hope this video helped you, give you the top 5 ways that I think you can improve your profile. Again, these are by no means exhaustive. There's 100 other things you can probably focus on, but I just wanted to give you my perspective that I have learned over the years, that all right, these are the things that your profile will benefit with most. Okay, I hope that this video helps you, give you that perspective. And in case you have any doubts, post them in the comments down below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure to do that, because other videos are coming up which will make sure that you are making the best of your time till fall 2021, or even further if you're watching this later. Alright, if you want to connect with me, you can do so over Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Sign up on YMGrad for these articles, by the way. Right, I'll see you. Bye.